Hello everyone. This is going to be a 5 minute tips video on case study, how to approach your preparation for the case study exam. When it comes to how to actually write the case study exam, I'll have to do a separate video, but I'm just trying to cover all professional topics so that those preparing for the exam can have a little pointers in addition to what they would do and what their tutorials will give them. All right. So firstly, for case study, okay, I would like to give a disclaimer. So this is just helpful tips. It's not a. We all know that ICAN can set anywhere, bring anything. So it's just important that you know that this is just helpful tips. You can pick what you need and leave what you think you don't need. Yeah. So firstly, for case study is different from other courses in the sense that it is writing a report. So you are expected to pull knowledge from several other subjects and bring all this knowledge together and use it to write a very good report. So case study has several parts. I will just touch a bit on each of them. You have financial statement analysis. FS analysis is basically, oh, this is, let's say, um, SOPL, statement of profit or loss. Last year, the revenue was 500. This year, the revenue is 1,000. That means the revenue has increased by um, probably like 100%. Do you get? If I got my math right. So that's what FS analysis is basically all about. But instead of just doing it for revenue, you do it for other line items. Instead of just doing it for SOPL, you do it for SOFP. And if there's an SOCF, that statement of cash flow, you also do it for that too. So financial statement analysis, you want to know what your trend analysis is. What I just described is trend analysis. Then you have ratios. For ratios, there are 5 ratios you should know. You don't need to know every single one of the breakdown of those ratios, right? But you need to know at least one in each ratio. So for profitability, you might need to know like ROC, return on equity, EBI, and the other ones. For liquidity, uh, you might need to know your cash ratio, your that's current assets, current liability, cash and cash, current assets, current liabilities, the and there's two other liquidity ratios that you may need to know. You get. Then for efficiency, that's talking about your turnover. There's receivable turnover, there's payable turnover. All this is broken down in the ICAN text and in several tutorial notes. So I don't want to break it down. I just want to give you an insight into what it means. So once you start or when you want to start, you have an idea where you're going to. Long-term solvency, they're talking about your gearing, debt to equity, debt to debt plus equity, and the likes. Investment ratios, there's like 7 of them, right? There's like 7 of them, all your EPS, DPS, and the like. So you just know the most important ones. You understand? You can start with the most important ones. Then as you continue to practice, you can add more. You understand? Then interpretation of FS analysis. This one part a lot of people make mistaken. Okay, the revenue increased by 50% or by 100%. Why? It's not just to say in your executive summary or in your FS analysis, oh, revenue went from this to this. They are not interested in what it went from. They can see it. Everybody has a calculator. We want you to tell me why. When I now go and check, I will not check last year's cost of sales. Last year's cost of sales actually reduced, right? If the cost of sales from last year to this year reduced and the revenue remains the same, profit eventually will increase. So let's say overall your profit increased by 100%. Your profit can increase by 100% because of two things. Either your revenue increased or your cost of sales reduced. So by the time I go and check my cost of sales, oh, my cost of sales actually reduced. It's not as if my revenue increased. It's the same revenue I had, but cost of sales reduced. That's your expenses. So that means what? My revenue increased. Sorry, my profits increased, not because my revenue increased, but because my cost of sales reduced. You understand? So you now go and tell them that their revenue is not increasing. No. Yes, they made a larger profit, or there was an increase in profit, but it was not because revenue increased. You will now prefer solution that okay, Cost of sales is reducing. They should continue to do that. That's a good one. But they have to increase their revenue. Somewhere in that case study exhibit, they will have told you maybe new markets they can conquer and the likes. Okay. Usually my videos, if I say 5 minutes, it will shoot to something else. Okay, let's just say this one will stop at 10 minutes. All right. Financial data analysis. This one involves your forecasting and budgeting, your break-even cost, your CVP. So you just need to revise it quickly. Go to your PM or go to your PM. Go and check all those CVP ratios, little ratios. Then business valuation. Oh, you just need to know there are three categories of valuation. There's asset-based valuation, there's cash flow based, and I think there's income based. Just know it on the surface. You understand? If they ask me for asset based, what will I do? How would I approach it? Just surface. You understand? There's also business reorganization and capital reconstruction. That one, your SFM will cover it. Then business analysis, strategic performance and management tools, your PESTEL, your SWOT, Potter's five forces, Potter's diamond. Just cram the headers. You understand? You read it, but at least you cram, study, master those headers. Okay, Potter's five forces, this one down, this one, Potter's diamond, this one down. Know at least the headers. Once you know the headers and you've understood what each one is, you will build it up in the exam. You understand? Is what those headers are very important. Based on those headers, you build it up in the exam. All right. BCG's matrix, answers matrix, ethics. There's always something ethical in case study. There's always something. Oh, the board is composed of. There's no independent director in the board. Everybody in the board is still management staff. The best person in the board is CEO. The second person in the board is CFO. So ethics. Oh, what you're going to do is going to damage the environment. Last year they tested in my diet, this May 25, they tested some things on sustainability. They came in a new way, in a different way. So just you get these are things that you might not exactly prepare for it, but you will see it in your exhibits. We will still do a video that will properly cover case study. The structure of the case study. You start with your cover page. You have the executive cover page, one page, executive summary, two pages. If you want to do table of content, you can put it after your cover page. Then executive summary, two pages. Executive summary, your scope. You talk about what do you call it? Your scope, your how the structure will be. Then you go to your what you got for requirements one. Talk about the conclusion, the recommendation. We'll still do a proper video that will go through all this. Uh, then you're going to have your FS analysis, most likely is requirement one, or your data analysis. Then you have your strategic analysis, might be requirements. They can give you in my own May 2025 there, they give 4 requirements. So just be prepared, you understand. Then you have your appendix at the back where you've solved and calculated. All right. Past question. Hmm. A lot of people feel past question is useless for case study, but even though past question is not uh properly solved, there's still things to gain from it. So if you pick a case study question, right? If you pick a case study question and it's usually much, let's go to this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, and 6. They're already telling you that for number 2, uses professional tools and knowledge. Uses professional tools and knowledge. They said calculate revenue growth per business location. So you go back to the past question, the beginning of the past question, and check it out. Oh, revenue was this is what they were expecting people to do. You understand? So there's things you can still gain from the past question. Calculate revenue growth per. In fact, there's still solution. Usually they solve the FS analysis, if I'm not mistaken, in the past question. They usually solve the FS analysis. They solve some things in the past question. Calculate gross profits per business. You see how they calculate it. You do your table. You too, you practice it. So there's things to gain from past question. But if you still don't want to use past question, if it's too looking too, if it's not properly solved for you, there's this person, Omodisola. I bought her past question and her pack. Yeah, so she has 5 years she has solved. So you can reach out to her on YouTube. Yeah, she has YouTube. She has WhatsApp channel. So if you need it, you can just let me know. I can give it to you. She has 5 years case study solved. She has 1 year She has 5 years case study, and then she has another textbook that's case study analysis. So you can reach out to me. I can always connect you to her. She's very good. Then, when you are before you enter case study exam, write 2 reports. All these tips I'm giving you, it's possible to pass without using them, but you don't want to get in a diet, get to write the exam in a diet where they change things and little things like, oh, I forgot my executive summary, I forgot introduction, oh, I forgot that there is this, I forgot. You understand? So write 2 reports, at least 2 reports before you enter the exam. You will have written the report. Oh, you write the cover page. Oh, is there an internal report? Is that you make mistake? You write it. Let your tutorial coordinators mark it. Now, also there's what you call pre-scene and unseen case study. Pre-scene is usually comes out uh like 2 weeks to the exam, or people will start solving. You pay for to join classes if you have the money and you can afford it. You pay, you join some classes that will solve it. You understand? That will solve the pre-scene. In your tutorial, they will solve the pre-scene. So when they solve it, you should take it and look at it. If you're doing 5 courses like me, you might not have the time to, what do you call it, read everything on your own close to that time because you are still battling with SFM and all. You have to join these tutorials. You pay for it, sometimes 8K, 4K, 5K. You just pay for it, you understand? All right, so that is case study. The next video will touch on another course. Thank you.